Clear the runway, baby. I get money from Sunday to Sunday, lady. Oh, behave. I'm young, rich, famous. Grinding, keep my pockets on Schwarzenegger. OG in my swisher, so my blunt tastes flavor. Down it. Y'all niggas can get it if you want it. Trying to catch a flight, I'm in the backseat. Playing Xbox, car service, just chillin'. Burners in the wall, money all through the ceiling. Hit spitter on the phone, tell my dog that we killin'. These fucking blogs, they love a star, and I'm flashing. Life just like a movie, no casting. Asked if the game been kinda slow, but I'ma treat it like a Ashton. Pedal to the metal, I'm mashing. All we know is big money, medical, weed, and fashion. So, try your best to imagine. Bro,
yeah, that whiz going on. Yes. We're back again. Week 3 of the Other Side of the Game Sports Podcast. Once again, I'm Hees, and I'm here with my boy,
the GUI.
Guy, how you been, bro?
Man, trying to hold it down with yourself.
Oh man, I'm maintaining, man. Sorry about the little bit of a delay on getting this week's pod out to you guys, but hey, we're back.
Yo, giving them what they want.
And now that we're back, I think it's appropriate that we address first things first, who's not going to be back with the Cowboys next year, and that's Jason Witten. He announced his retirement the past week. Jason leaves the Cowboys, as their all-time leader in receiving yards, catches, and games played. You know, you think about the rich history of Cowboys receivers, Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant, Drew Pearson, and you look up and Jason Witten is at the top of the leaderboard in a lot of the reception categories, man. How are you going to remember Jason Witten as a Cowboy, as a huge Cowboys fan?
Man, constant pro. I mean, someone who really dedicated to the game. I mean, besides a one little hiccup in Cancun, there's never been there's never really been any question of his focus to the game.
I blame Tony's influence for that. Jason wanted to get into the playbook, man. Tony wanted to go over there and play with them hoes.
Well, of course, man. Stardom, popularity. That would lead to that.
Yeah, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I love the game of football. Jason Witten, to me, I'll just remember him as he was steady. He was always there. I don't even think he missed a game in his career, if I'm not mistaken. If he did miss one game, right? Okay. Yeah, so he was always steady. He was always there. In the Romo years, whenever there was a third down that needed to be converted, it seemed like he was always there.
Even prior to Romo, I have a word to really put Jason's career into totality, and that's the word complete.
Yeah. Now,
when you look at him, of course, there's guys that have more flashy numbers, touchdowns, yards, or whatever. But to ask a guy, I need you to have chip block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not throwing the ball 20 times this week. We're throwing it 15 times because it's a cold game. We're running. I need you to backside block your butt off. And a lot of guys, they can't. You can't ask a lot of these pass catching receivers like a Jimmy Graham to, hey, I need you to go out there, just put a little arm out Jason Tucker.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham and the Julius Thomas types that came, the more recent tight ends. I think Jason Witten, he kind of missed that era right before. He was probably the last, what you would call like a classic tight end, right? So you think of him or Tony Gonzalez, where they could do everything. They can be on the line and they can block and release. Or they could play in the slot and get crucial first downs on third down. So, yeah, I'm going to always remember him as just an all-time pro. He finished his career ranked 21st all-time in receiving yards, period. That's over wide receivers included. He has more receiving yards than guys like Calvin Johnson and Jimmy Smith and Hines Ward and Michael Irvin. You think of these great receivers and you look up, he's above them. Chad Johnson, those type of guys. So definitely a Hall of Famer, and it looks like he's keeping the streak of Cowboys going straight into the announcing booth. It looks like he's keeping that streak alive. It seems like the Cowboys have a pipeline from Valley Ranch into the Fox analysis booth.
Now, he's gonna be on Monday Night Football. I know his detail of breaking down the game is great. I don't know how his conversation to entertain or keep the viewers informed. I don't know. He's not Tony. He don't have that coolness. He's a kind of straight laced guy. You know what I'm saying?
He is, but you know what? For all those years and to be in the league for that long, you know he has a great football mind, and I'm sure he can break down plays. I think that Tony's success last year in the booth, where he's calling out plays and everything, and he's seeing it before it happens. I think that Jason will bring a similar element to ESPN's. I think I said Fox earlier, but it's going to be ESPN's booth for Monday Night Football. It's going to be him and Antonio McFarlane are going to be in the booth. So it's going to be looked forward to. Did you see the Kurt Warner tweet? I guess Kurt Warner was up for the same job. I thought he was giving it. He put out that salty tweet. What was this? I remember the days growing up believing the best person for the job, not race, gender, age, nor pedigree, led to gaining position. Trying to figure out if it ever truly applied, thinking I was just a naive kid. But if so, how do we get so backwards? This is the most white privileged ass,
Bro,
all the flavors in the world, and you chose salty ass tweet I've ever seen in my life.
bro, to be honest, this is my first. I'm shocked right now because I thought you were going to tell me about what he said about him trying to make a comeback.
Oh no, that came after. So apparently he was up for the job while Jason was debating, and then once Jason made a commitment to ESPN, Kurt didn't get it, and all of a sudden we heard these leak stories that he was considered coming back to football at age 47, which was fucking ridiculous.
I don't want to go into Kurt Warner right now because he has a public image of a good guy, but his story is nothing short of a Warren Moon coming from the Canadian League to the NFL to be someone of great stature. A Doug Flutie, even a Tom Brady to a degree of someone who wasn't highly sought after as a draft pick.
Well, yeah, he was undrafted.
So even Tony to a certain degree because he was never in contention for a Super Bowl or nothing like that. But the story of from nowhere to prominence is something that Kurt has been banking his cap on for a long time, but as that time has progressed, we have gotten better stories. The Tom Brady story is better than his story. Tony Romo's story is better than his story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's clear he was pretty salty, but he's a white rich man in America. I think he'll make out just fine. So moving on, and once again, hell of a career by Jason Witten. One of the greatest Cowboys of all time. I'm sure he'll wind up in the Ring of Honor, and also he'll be getting a yellow jacket probably sooner than later since he's going into the media. That seems to be the way.
And I believe they're gonna make him wait. I mean,
well, to be honest with you, the way the stats are adding up now, by the time his 5 years of eligibility up, I mean, he's 21st now. He might wind up in the 40s. To be quite honest with you.
Who not really. I don't see nobody catching him that fast.
We'll see. But again, congrats to Jason Witten.
I mean, okay, before the season started, active-wise, he was second to Larry Fitzgerald.
You mean an active player is not all time, right?
Yeah, like active. After none of these active players are catching him in the next 4 years.
Well, I mean, it's just the way the passing game is going.
I mean, the close one would have to be Antonio.
Are you referring to just tight ends? Yeah, because Antonio might not catch him as far as the tight ends.
I'm saying it's catches in general. Because he's fourth all time NFL.
Oh, I mean, reception might be a little.
Jason gave you that like 2 years ago. That's what you use.
Oh, like a 20 catch game. But yeah, I mean, he's what he would look up. He would have 80, sometimes 100. Right now, you're right. He's fourth all time. The next closest active player, Brandon Marshall, but he's a couple under back and out. He might be out of there. So he's got some space on him. I mean, he's got 200 plus catches on Antonio Gates.
By the time I say he has 8 years. 8 years.
8? What do you mean?
8 years to someone close to that plateau of catching him, because probably about 8 years. He'd probably be like a third time or a second time trying on the Hall of Fame. He's not a first ballot. He's not gonna go in first ballot. He's as a character, as a person, as what your image of a professional is. He's everything you want as a first ballot, but he's not. His impact on the game is not first ballot.
Yeah.
And just because of what he was asked to be, and he was asked to just be a pass catcher, if their system was allowed that, I mean, his number would be different, and of course you can make the argument of how well he was. Okay, so like Tony Gonzalez, he was one of probably the greatest tight ends in NFL history. But I bet there's years he wish he could have played in a run dominant system like a Shannon Sharp to have a Terrell Davis just get 2,000.
Well, I mean, he had the years with Larry Johnson and Priest Holmes, so Antonio had those. I mean,
but then you have the quarterback doing those years. And that's what I'm saying. And
wait a minute. So are you? What's your receiver rankings? Let's get into that because you're getting a lot of praise to Jason Witten. What's your all-time, your favorite tight ends? What do you have Tony ranked? Me personally, I don't have Tony above. I have Tony behind. I have Jason Witten behind Tony Gonzalez. That's my number one. My number two is Antonio Gates. Number three, I got Shannon. Number four, I probably got Jason Witten on my slotted around there.
Okay. If I'm looking at just the whole, what a tight end is supposed to, not just pass catching and tight end. I mean, like touchdowns or whatever.
We're just talking about tight end total. I mean,
okay. My favorite tight end is Antonio Gates.
Okay, now you talking about your favorite, or we're gonna talk?
I mean Gonzalez. I'm sorry, not Gates. Gonzalez. Kansas City, the Miami. Atlanta. Gates.
Okay.
Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, Gonzalez. That is Tony Gonzalez, not Antonio Gates.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy juice.
My second all-time favorite tight end is probably Ben Coates.
Ben Coates, man, I remember him back in the New England days.
Yeah.
He was like Drew Bledsoe's fetches. He wasn't getting no yards though. So you're 1 through 4. Who are your 1 through 4 tight ends?
Okay. 3 would be Jason.
Okay.
Jason Witten would be 3.
So you got Witten 3. You got Ben Coates 4.
Now, when I say this, it's not who's more talented or whatever. It's just,
no, this is literally your favorite tight ends. Who do you think is best?
When I say this is that these guys play football the correct way and are dominant and solid in all aspects. It's not just catching. So,
all right, we got your criteria.
Gonzalez, Coates, Witten, my boy from they used to play for the Steelers.
Tight end. They just play for the Steelers.
Heath Miller. I like Heath Miller.
You got Heath Miller in your top 4 tight ends of all time?
Yes, so what they asked him to how he played the game.
I'm just saying, just total.
Nah. Like I
listen,
said,
man.
If there was other.
Top 4 tight ends. You got Heath Miller.
Yeah.
Heath from Virginia. Heath.
Yeah. Bro, like I say, it's other guys that numbers are way better than him. They can play better. Like a Dallas Clark numbers are way better with a fading man.
I just need I need to hear you say that again.
Who
who is it that you have in your top 4 of tight ends?
Not greatest of all time, but my favorite. Who I like their games and how I feel are complete tight ends.
Yeah.
I said. I want Gonzalez.
Number 4 is.
As 4 is Heath Miller.
Hell no. Hell no. Heath Miller cannot be in anybody's top 4 tight end rankings. Ever.
Also, Heath, Jason, Coates, Gonzalez number 1, and number 5, since I watched him and grew up on him, Jay Nochick. Those are my.
So again, you got number 5 Jay Novacek, number 4 Tony Gonzalez.
No. 4 is Heath Miller. Is that my
Heath Miller's number 4 on your tight end list. Got it.
3 is Witten, 2 is Coates, 1 is Gonzalez.
All right, so that top 4 one more time for us, bro. I gotta hear this.
Okay. It says 4, but I have 5.
Okay, your top 5.
And these are from my lifetime of watching. You know what I'm saying? Not the greatest of all time, not the most talented, most spectacular, but just well-rounded, solid. The definition of tight ends. Okay, I said 5 is Jay Novacek, 4 is Heath Miller, 3 I got Jason Witten, 2 I have Ben Coates, and 1 I have Mr. Gonzalez.
That's a solid one. That's a solid. I disagree with. Well, again, it's your list, so I can't really disagree too much. But I'm appalled at Heath Miller being involved at all of this.
No, I say, brother, like I said,
I wasn't expecting a Heath Miller reference.
I mean, it's plenty of guys that have better numbers, like a Dallas Clark, a Jeremy Shockey. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if Shockey got the better numbers.
He got the better numbers. They got the ring and all that shit. But
Yeah,
anyway, but like I said, when you look at Shockey, he was the prototype of the Miami tight ends, right? The Killer Hernandez.
El Diablo.
Yeah. He was in the mold of a Jeremy Shockey. Even that Miami team, you would think about it, probably one of the best college team of all time.
Yeah.
If you look at the collective talent from Portis to McGahee to
stable at running back.
Mr. Johnson at wide receiver.
Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Santana Moss.
Mr. Ed Reed playing safety.
Bubba Franks, Jeremy Shockey, and Winslow.
Yes, but you know what I'm saying? But in the era of the Jeremy Shockey, because Jeremy Shockey was the first Rob Gronkowski, crazy white boy with all these tattoos, and like he probably say N-word to himself, probably not allowed.
All right. Well, that was a good conversation on tight ends. That was a very interesting look at the way we view the position. And I liked all those guys. Ben Coates was that guy. But moving on, let's get to the NBA playoffs. That's the low that shit came on.
Man.
All right, so we just wrapped up the second round of the NBA playoffs. The LeBron Cavaliers swept the Toronto Raptors, got them the fuck up out of there as quickly as possible. Boston with an upset. If you remember on the podcast, I actually picked Philly sweeping them or giving them a gentleman sweep 4-1. But Boston got them up out of there. So we got Cleveland and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the West, the Warriors went ahead and disposed of the Pelicans, and the Rockets got the Jazz out of there 4-1 as well. So we're heading into the NBA playoffs, the conference finals. First of all, just getting back to the second round of playoffs, I got to give you props. You definitely picked that Boston beating Philadelphia. I thought you was crazy when you said it, but you actually picked it up. You think that win came from just Boston being better, or did Philadelphia kind of nut up?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you like this, Chris. You better get ready to get the soundboard ready, because I'm going to say some outlandish stuff right now. These last couple of weeks, I've been telling you that the playoff was trash. How many sweeps and gentlemen sweeps there was?
I don't think that necessarily means it's trash, man. The best teams won.
Bro. Half the league got invited to this dance, and half the league got 2 left feet.
Man,
they was over before they got to song number 5.
The purpose of the playoffs is to wind up with the best teams at the end. I feel like that was achieved. So the playoffs, to me, have been a success.
So time out. So if you look at it, how the playoff played out, just take the top 4 for both conference, and it'd be Elite 8, and let those guys play off, and that's what we have.
We don't want that to happen. You know, realize how much of a gap we'll have between the NBA season and the start of the NFL.
It's not that we don't want that. The NBA revenue don't want that. I mean, don't want that money to stop.
Yeah, it's a business.
Because bad basketball
kind of have to make that. Kind of have to make money.
Bad basketball is a money maker.
Wait a minute. Do you think that we saw bad basketball?
In your the last 10 years, where do you rank this playoff series?
What series? You mean like a year?
2000 from...
I can't say right now because the playoffs aren't over. I mean, we still have the conference finals and the finals.
No. When I'm... totality, not just the finals, not just the...
There hasn't been a totality, so I don't know if I could rank this year's playoffs compared to any past one because it's incomplete.
Because years past, first round,
we got another possible 21 games left of playoff games.
I mean, this is the game we already expected. We already expected Houston, Golden State, and we already expected Boston, Cleveland.
I thought my Thunder were going to be in there, but we got some things to work on.
And like I told you from the beginning, there was really San Antonio and OKC was the only other options in the West. It's 4 teams in the West you were thinking about, and in the East it was only 3 teams: Boston, Cavs, and Toronto. Would Toronto ever be big enough to get past LeBron?
Well, I mean, the Cleveland series ended in a sweep, but it wasn't blowout games. They were all close games. They were all very entertaining games. We had buzzer beaters in 2 of the games. These weren't just blowouts.
And let's be honest,
I don't look at that as a bad series.
If Indiana was spotted any place else, I think the playoff would have helped the East Coast.
I don't think so, because the playoffs are very much about matchups. In the Cleveland-Indiana series, the Cleveland others, they didn't step up. They didn't hit shots. So that, to me, if they played anything close to the way they played in the Toronto series, then that series would have ended in 5 games.
Okay.
You saw the stat during that whole first-round series. No other Cleveland player scored more than 20 points. That was not named LeBron.
Okay, and this is why I love basketball and I hate basketball as well. Okay, you look at a team like any other Pacers, as constructed right now, they are better than the Pacers. I mean, than the 76ers, right?
No, they're not.
No,
constructed. So as constructed as in the roster.
If you look at it,
what's better on the Indiana roster than the 76ers roster? Well, I mean, do you think Vic is a better player than Joel
at this stage of his career?
Yeah.
It's probably a wash, but
no,
it's
he's
probably,
not.
I mean, where would you rank him as Victor is the 2 guard, so he's probably top 10 2 guard.
And Joel is clearly top 3 center.
Well, a lot of players got hurt this year, but
with the people hurt, the top 3 centers in the league, I think, are pretty clear. You got Joel, you have, and I'm talking about center, not just big man, but centers. You got DeMarcus Cousins, you got Joel. And then third, you can say Cat or you can say Joker in Denver.
But I can say those are.
And I got DeAndre Jordan at 5. I mean, I'm just speaking on guys that play center.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, like I said, the Pacers series went 7 games, and I think it just went 7 games because the others didn't play as well. I don't know if that's actually an indication of how strong Indiana is. Because I think Indiana is what they are, 5 seeds. It's probably their max to me.
And like I said, normally on a year like this, Philadelphia would be a 7 seed, and they're pretty close to being, because that's how close the East was. You said
same in the West.
You said that the Indiana was a 5th seed and Philly was a 3rd.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they probably separated by 2 games.
I think it might have been a little bit more than that, to be honest with you.
But like I said, me personally, like I said, looking at those teams,
hold on
one
a second, so we make sure we have it correct. So if we're looking at the standings, let's take a look here. Yeah, so it was 3-6 is pretty much what it was. It was the Miami was the 6th seed. So here we go. Philadelphia was the 3rd seed, 52 wins. Indiana was the 5th seed, 48 wins. So Philadelphia, will, 4 wins better than them. But I don't think that indicates them being close as far as talent, because you were speaking on roster construction.
No. When you look at star power or popularity, the Needles is heavily favored towards Philadelphia. If you just looking at the totality of their franchise, if you think about Philadelphia as a city versus Indiana as
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about on the court. I mean, city-wise, that's clearly.
Right. So those guys having the heavy media push, right? Their attention can, because everybody, even before the season started, they was already hitched.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of proves. I feel like that kind of speaks to what I'm saying, though. Like where does the media attention come from? They have two young, transcendent players.
Right. That's from years of drafting the number 1 pick over.
However it came.
Right. But when you think about Indianapolis, they were like, oh, what are they going to be? They just traded away their best player for some leftovers, right? So them leftovers end up being an all-star quality player. And Sabonis becomes a solid. He's like a surge type player.
Yeah, I mean they.
So if you look at okay. Besides popularity and skill, wise, Miles Turner is a center that's ascending upwards.
Okay.
If he was in a different market makes players. We all know this, right? So
market makes players. So let's say we take Miles Turner. Turner, he's what?
No.
13-8. He's looked at. He's viewed differently. And what market is his that looked at as elite?
No, I didn't say he was elite. I say he's the up
trending.
Yeah, right. So
Miles Turner, 13 points, 6 rebounds.
Yeah.
1.8 blocks.
Yeah.
So you think the market
now this is for a player that's only asked to do one set of things, right? He's not their best player. He's not asked to be their best player. He's just playing his role. Now you put that for like a person like Miles Turner, and you put him in a market like Los Angeles. He'll be a star in Los Angeles.
You think so?
Yeah.
He'll still be 13-6.
Exactly. Look at Lonzo Ball.
Now Lonzo definitely came into the league with an absurd amount of hype, but I don't think that speaks to I don't think Miles Turner's dad isn't LeVar Ball, so I don't think.
And how old is Miles? Like 22.
Yeah, Miles pretty young.
He's extremely young, and so his game is just gonna get better and better and better. Because right now he's really learning what position. When they first got him, they have him playing power forward. Now they seeing that. Now we probably gonna make you a center and try to be a faster paced team with Vic out there on the wing.
Okay.
So you put that. Then you got another big body like I said, Sabonis, who's 6'11", 7 foot. Stretch the floor, I'm saying, he's not a ball handler, but that's what the league's come to. You have to have a big, tall white guy that can shoot the three.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Indiana, but just getting back to the playoffs in general. Indiana, that was a very entertaining series with Cleveland.
Most entertaining.
So far, well, yeah, I think so. I mean, even the Boston and Philly series, it was a 4-1 series, but those games were entertaining. Again, and what we haven't seen, have we seen a bunch of 7-game series? No, but even the series that we have seen have been close games.
Don't you hate when the best series is in the first round?
I mean, again, man, we got a potential of 21 games left, so I don't think we know what the best series is just yet.
We do.
Nah.
Yeah,
what series do you think is going to be best?
Let's be honest. We were waiting on two things this upcoming season. There was the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. Everything else was up and.
Well, I think going into the playoffs, that's what people look forward to. But the stories that have developed during the playoffs.
This
Boston, for example, going into the playoffs, you think they're without Kyrie, they're without Hayward, And the playoffs have been great for the Boston Celtics. Nobody picked them to get to the second round. They disposed of the Sixers, and it's kind of weird that I'm saying this, but in a hard fought 5-game series. And during the playoffs, you've seen the evolution. You've seen Jason Tatum take another step, and you're looking at him. And this, to me, he's a combination of Melo and Paul Pierce. You see Terry Rozier, Scary Terry. We didn't know about Scary Terry till the playoffs began. You've seen his evolution in the first round, not so much in the second round because he was hurt a little bit. But in the first round, you saw Jaylen Brown get off. So I think that stuff like that, the playoffs create these storylines and they create legend. And I feel like we've gotten a great glimpse at the future of the NBA with the growth of young players like Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, as I stated before, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell. Again, Houston defeated the Jazz 4-1, but Donovan Mitchell's name grew because of that. His performance in the last game, scoring 22 points in a quarter, and then going out hurt, that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't know if we'll necessarily have to remember the first round series.
Let me ask you another question. And this relates to all players. Where are you being drafted? Okay. You think about the draft. We all know who picked who, when, where, and why. Okay?
What do you mean? Which draft?
Okay. This is the last draft.
Okay.
NBA draft, all right?
That was a great draft class.
I mean, the great talent in the draft class. We don't know how the systems and how they're gonna play.
I like what I've seen so far from this draft class.
Okay, right? Because we say like, oh man, how do somebody like Donovan Mitchell fall all the way to 13, and he came out of nowhere. He could have got drafted to a franchise like Charlotte and been elite month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or he could have been Justin Jackson for
Phoenix?
No, not Josh Jackson. Josh.
You talking about Justin with the Kings?
Light skinned Justin
with the Kings.
I'm saying exactly with the Kings. You know what I'm saying? That's also, you know what I'm saying, like Rookie of the Year is kind of a wash situation, because what we do is we look at success of people programmed within a 1 year period. Now, you take a team that's trying to tank to stockpile talent.
And speaking of tank, let's not act like that wasn't happening back in the day. Let's not act like San Antonio did the honest thing and was trying their hardest the year they got Duncan.
Of course, or the 84 draft, or shit. We all know. You know what I'm saying? The UN draft. We all know what's going on in this business. But like I was saying about being drafted in certain locations. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think like a Malik Monk in college, his role was to be an off-wing scorer shooter? Now, what Utah is asking of Donovan Mitchell would have been the exact same they would have asked of Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Monk would have probably got that light if he would have produced the same. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Situation and getting drafted is extremely important. Unfortunately, Charlotte drafted Malik Monk. They had him sitting on the bench while they struggled to win games for some reason, and I don't know what it was. Maybe that's why the coach got fired, and they had to. Not the coach, but the GM got let go. They didn't seem to be in the role of trying to developing him. I think they may have went into the season and been confused, thinking that they were actually going to contend for the playoffs, and they only basing that off of their salary cap, where they got, Dwight Howard, they paying him $20-odd million. Nicholas Batum's making $20-odd million. Kemba's on that eight-figure salary per year. So they were confused about who they exactly were, and I think it stunted the growth of Malik Monk. He was one of my favorite guys in the draft. I feel like if he would have went to a different location, he would have been better off. If he would have went number 8 to the Knicks, like a lot of people thought, we would have saw a different Malik Monk. Hopefully next year he does get the opportunity to do.
Okay, and another situation, like Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
Love what he did for the Mavericks, but the Mavericks was in a position they wasn't trying to win. right?
I think they were trying at first, and then they realized that was futile.
Bro, they already knew when that year started they didn't have enough.
Once the owner came out and said, "Yo, this year is about rebuilding," then you saw his minutes go up.
No. Before the owner said anything, they had a low key plan they would execute, and that plan was to, hey, we all our building blocks or whatever.
The Mavericks have multiple building blocks?
Not really, but just solid people like Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His deal was a cap-friendly deal coming off a career year. Anybody with sense would say, you know what? We're not going to progress and try to make you a huge deal. We see you're a specialty player. We can probably get you trade you for what, late first round draft pick? Somebody?
Seth Curry?
Yeah.
No, you ain't get no first for him.
Late first, you would.
No, you might get a second. A second with protections for Seth Curry. He ain't get no fucking first round pick.
Yeah, bro. You say, bro, team.
Yo, people wasn't giving up first round picks for like proven guys and like rotation players. No way Seth Curry is drawing a first round pick. He bringing Dale back with him, or
nah.
is Riley coming with him?
This skill set of what it needs. What to play. Like a team like the Oklahoma.
We're not giving up a first round for Seth Curry.
Of course, Sam wouldn't do it.
Nobody would.
Of course, Sam wouldn't do it. But again, that's the move that Sam probably should have tried to do.
Nah.
Of course.
Seth Curry, he what difference would he have made?
The thing that
what is he?
What was the thing?
I understand you're a Mavericks fan, but I want to know what Seth Curry does well. Shoot when?
When he got the ball.
When he's active?
Say, if you look at his numbers,
he has to be on the court.
If you look at the numbers what he played last year, he played well. The numbers are well. It speaks for themselves.
So let's take a look here. Last year, Seth Curry, 10 points a game, 47% from the field, 43 from 3. Mm-hmm. So I mean, yeah, the percentages are great.
In
but
today's NBA, and especially no, let's think about today's NBA right now and what's lacking in the playoffs. And that has been, if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, what has been their Achilles heel? The lack of shooting and consistency, right?
Who? The Houston Rockets?
No, Cavaliers. They're so-called shooters, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
so they gave up a first-round draft pick to get Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson, and their biggest thing is they inconsistent shooters. Right?
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was speaking. That's what I was speaking on about the first round series with the Pacers. If Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson would have performed to the standard that they thought they would have, then I think that series looks different. Rodney Hood was a 15-point, 38% from 3 guy this year. And he played terribly in that first round.
And let's be honest, okay, and they're all in the same situation except for Clarkson. But Rodney Hood and Steph, last year they little deal, they trying to get paid. Now, Steph is someone who worked his way up through the system under Carlisle's system. See, that's why I like Carlisle in developing players, because Steven Jackson was a good player.
Who?
Steven Jackson. Remember ex-player Steven Jackson?
Stack 5. Okay, Stack 5. Right? Okay.
He was decent in San Antonio, right? But he really took off when he got to Indianapolis. And if it wasn't for Ron going crazy,
yeah, they might have won a title with that team.
Exactly.
I think that was their year.
Exactly. Then when you saw Stack, what he got from Carlisle, and when he went to Golden State, like, damn, Stack's stepping up. You know what I'm saying? Because Stack was just...
What's his favorite line? I make love to pressure.
Yeah. This is like, you got to like players like this. You know what I'm saying? Have the confidence and the wherewithal to be a beast. A lot of these players, they don't have their worth. They don't work on their game. They only work.
So you think Seth Curry can be talked about in the same way that we can talk about a Steven Jackson?
Of course not, because he lacked.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that.
He lacked the physical traits to be a Steven Jackson, but I'm saying Rick has a way of bringing the best out of players that a lot of players. In Dallas, we call them fallen angels. You know what I'm saying? where other players will be cast off and like, why we get him? He might not do it. Oh, Dallas get him, make him a project and make him a quality player.
Like who?
Now,
great example.
Okay, now these are not stars, right? You know what I'm saying? But just look at
what are they? Quality? Who?
Okay, look at production wise.
Production wise, okay.
Okay. Since Carlisle being in Dallas, you take a player like Aminu. When he first got into the league, he was drafted by the Clippers. They thought he was gonna be what they was. They put him in the Chris Paul trades. He was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He was about to be down there out the league.
He showed a little promise in New
Yeah,
Orleans,
right,
but again,
right.
it was kind of like we spoke to earlier about where you're drafted and the situation you want to be in.
He was about to be some.
He was probably miscast in the position
He was about to
in.
be G League. Let's be honest. He's about to be G League.
Wait a minute. So you think the Mavs developed him?
Yeah.
His numbers were better, and he played more minutes with New Orleans.
Correct, but look at his shooting percentage in the role he played when he got to Dallas. There, look how much money Portland came and saw.
The year before he was in New Orleans, he shot 47% from the field. The next year in Dallas, he shot 41%. Actually, he's gone down since New Orleans. He went from 47 to 41, 41, 39, and 39 the last couple of years.
But also
he's one of the reasons that the Blazers need to blow that shit up.
Also, those numbers. Okay, the numbers in Dallas was more valuable. He shot more in Dallas than he did in New Orleans. He didn't shoot as many threes.
He played more minutes in New Orleans.
He played, but he didn't shoot. And so that's how numbers can be misleading. You know what I'm saying? But he shot more efficiently.
We're not about to give Rick Carlisle credit for Aminu shooting 27% from three, and the next year he shot 36%.
Say, bro.
Portland.
And you saw him develop as a defender. You seen games where he was closing up. Okay,
they used him correctly with the length. Actually, I know we spoke about this, outside of the pod, but I thought they should have re-signed him. I thought
I believe so too.
Like a big mistake.
I thought that.
And another failure by Mark Cuban to provide Dirk with quality teammates.
I told you that off season I would love to see them get Aminu and Gerald Green to have them both long defenders and length. But that was like 2-3 years ago.
Portland gave this dude 4 years, $30 million
out the blue because you know why? Because they seen their playoff series Houston had against. Dallas had against Houston,
the series
and there was some moments where Aminu was getting James Harden ass because he had that long length.
Well, he definitely had a great playoffs. He was 11-7 in the playoffs, which was double what he was doing in the regular season.
Oh yeah.
But looking at the Blazers roster and seeing Dame and CJ making money, a lot of money, then I look and see that CJ and Mo Harkless are making $7 to $14 million. It's time to blow that up.
I already told you about teams like Portland and
blow it up on them too.
Yeah, Washington.
Blow up the Wizards.
I don't want my two guards shorter than my point guard, man. unless you Penny Hardaway, Magic Johnson, you got to be taller than my point guard.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
That
they ran into. Neither one of those teams could actually defend when they needed to.
That's why I never liked the notion of Iverson and Eric Snow in the background. Like, no. This not finna work.
Well, let me ask you. Speaking of since we're on the playoffs, going forward after that 76ers and that Boston series, what do you see for these teams outside of this year? What do you see for these teams going forward? Because to me, Boston may have the brightest future in the NBA. They've got Irving and Hayward coming back next year. They'll have Brown, Tatum, and Rozier with all of this great playoff experience and confidence and a year older. And then on top of that, as everyone knows, they've probably got more assets than any team in the NBA right now as far as like the future first-round picks that they own. I believe this year they have the option to either take the Lakers pick that Philadelphia owns, or they can scrap that and they can take the Sacramento Kings first-round pick next year.
Okay.
So they got that one. They own a future first from the Grizzlies and a future first from the Clippers. So to me, that combined with the young talent that they have, they're set up for the future. Philadelphia has cap space. They have Ben Simmons. They have Joel Embiid, two young guys, and they got Markelle Fultz. He's going to be healthy next year, hopefully, and I think he's going to really show something. But what's your outlook on those teams going forward?
Great market teams, great basketball cities, East Coast based. So
good coaches.
The media attention gonna be on this team. The popularity should be there.
What do you think about that? What the team is gonna do though? You kind of shade them with the media attention.
Now, as far as basketball, as far as personnel wise, if I'm Boston, I feel like I have three damaged goods right now.
Three damaged goods
Right now. These damaged goods are high end Saks Fifth Avenues. Hey, this is the Ferrari, but the left tire.
Ferrari body, but the engine to crack.
The axles. The axles not working.
It'll turn on, but that motherfucker won't go into drive.
So you look at a Kyrie Irving, yeah. He's what you call A++, franchise type player. But for me, I see him as a Ferrari with bad axles. So you have a young man like a Terry Young, Rozier, and a Marcus Smart back in Kyrie. So how about you just trade it to one of these thirsty ass franchises and double up and get some future picks? I mean, because I wouldn't want to stunt Rozier's growth to satisfy Kyrie, because you're gonna have to pay this man.
They've got to make a decision, because Kyrie will be due for a contract extension next summer.
So what do? You find franchises that can't get right.
Franchises that can't get right.
Let's see.
The Clippers. The Clippers, the Magic.
Hey, would you take a Jonathan Isaac and some first round draft pick? Of course.
Yeah, you got to find some. Yeah, I think you definitely do that and make it work.
Cause you know what you do? That means Jonathan Isaac can play the 4 now. Tatum at the 3, Brown at the 3, and Rozier at the point, and we just got rid of $30-something million in calories, and we ain't gotta go with those stupid ideas. Let's bring in Kyrie, Kawhi Leonard or something.
Well, I think Boston has. Well, first of all, Danny, to his credit, Danny Ainge seems to have great perspective and not hold any sentimental value when making trades.
It's the last person you invite to an orgy, because he got his camera out taking pictures.
Yeah, he got to have some incriminating evidence on some of these guys. He kind of fleeced the Sixers. He got the guy that he wanted and the additional first-round draft pick just to move back a couple of spots.
And when you look at a team like Philadelphia, and the person they passed on was exactly who they needed, a Jason Tatum, a long winged scorer. Now, this is the thing I hate about the NBA, because, of course, it's a copycat league, but somebody like Brandon Ingram is what you thought. Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram had the same trajectory, but you thought that Ingram would be show more stardom first than Tatum. Tatum came out the gate like, hey, it is what it is.
One thing you know about Tatum from Duke going into the draft is like, this dude is a professional scorer. He gets buckets. I'm telling you, Carmelo, Paul Pierce. To me, he's a blend of those two.
He's skinny Jabari.
Skinny Jabari? I've never seen Jabari skinny, so I don't even know what to make of that. Well, I think Jabari, blown out knees and a Paul Pierce like build. It's like he's never in shape. He's always a little pudge.
Fat Mel.
Yeah.
Fat Mel.
Fat Mellow. Fellow. Fellow Anthony. To be honest with you, I think the Mavs should take a look at Jabari this summer, though. But that we're not gonna.
Jabari or Julius.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
I told you before. I mean, It's me being a homer, but bring on the home home. Bring Marcus home. Bring Julius home.
I think Boston holds on to them, but kind of speaking to what you're saying about Kyrie, I think you have a point there. Like some of these teams, I would say some of the ones in the big market who they always want to have a star. So let's say, for example, a team like the Bulls, and they can construct something around Kyrie and offset his salary with dumping Robin Lopez, Justin Holiday, throwing some picks. The Bulls are going to have a lottery pick this year.
Hey,
I think Danny explores that. I've been thinking that for a while now.
If Chicago do that dunk, there ain't no way in hell I'm finna stunt Chris Dunn's growth. Cause that's the same mix. You
Again, that's why we speak to you. Say a thirsty team.
Now, when I say
Chicago,
no, I have the perfect thirsty team for them to do. And to be honest, they really need This is a team that really needs this to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who was that?
The Phoenix Suns.
They made offers last year. They tried to get him.
They haven't been watching the same tape of this man being on the IR for the last 8 years. But hey,
yeah. But see, the thing is, with Phoenix, I think Phoenix knows, like, man, this dude ain't re-signing. So they would pretty much be giving up their first round draft pick, only to benefit. But again, this is Danny Ainge, so he just might pull it off. Me, I was thinking more just like big market teams who don't necessarily do everything with the idea of building in the future. So I'm thinking, the Knicks or something like that.
Now, a franchise a franchise who really needs this, you know what I'm saying, is a franchise like New Orleans. Now, New Orleans is a team that's thirsty enough to give up whatever.
Now keep in mind, their whatever is only like 2 or 3 people. And if Danny is calling New Orleans, Danny is calling about Anthony Davis. He ain't calling about J. Rue Holiday.
Say, if Danny calling to get fucking cash relief and give me your picks.
Yeah.
Cause Danny know what's finna happen. Oh, he's finna get hurt and y'all finna crumble. Right. So that pick gonna be more valuable, and me having this cap relief, I can re-sign these youngsters. That's how smart Danny is.
He is, but eventually Danny and his assets gonna have to try to compete for a championship. So I think they likely hold on to Kyrie, but I definitely think Danny makes some calls to see what's going on. Another team's playoff news: the Raptors. Ooh, after they got swept again by LeBron. What do you think about them firing their coach, Dwayne Casey, former Mavericks assistant?
Okay.
Helped devise a great defensive plan to get the Mavs a chip. So they let him go after 7 years. The franchise has 350-win seasons in their history. He's the coach for all 3. And it seems like their playoff failures are being laid at his feet. I saw Tracy McGrady make a statement today. And he basically pointed to saying that the reason he's gone is because the best players on the team want him gone. What do you think? What do you think about the situation in Toronto being swept again and getting rid of Dwayne Casey?
Okay.
Who was just voted Coach of the Year?
Let's be honest for a second. Ex-players that used to play for franchises that quit on their franchises shouldn't comment on their franchises.
Oh.
Okay. Now, and in all honesty, Toronto has a curse on it. They never knew what it was
Canadian
called.
curse.
It's the T-Mac backstab.
The T-Mac backstab. Speak to this.
Okay.
Again, these are the thoughts of Guy.
Now, in an era of Brandon and stardom, T-Mac was a bubbling star between 97 and 2000. Now, it wasn't good enough to be on a good team with family members and competing. He wanted his own team. I want my own name in his
let's
league.
keep in mind, he didn't know that was his family until he got there. Ain't like they grew up together.
Say, you went from what, miniature wins to playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It was a growth for a franchise. Y'all two was supposed to be together. A 6'6" small, two guard and a 6'8" wing. Y'all were gonna be the most dominant offense. It would have been like baby version of Pippen and Jordan without.
Right.
We're more balanced offensive because T-Mac is a more offensive, a better offensive player than Pippen ever was. Right?
Gotcha. So I mean, so you're saying that they've been cursed since that era with T-Mac leaving when as soon as free agency hit.
You look at it. I mean, you look at it. They can't keep their franchise player. So Vince Carter left afterwards. Drafted Chris Bosh. They make maybe the first round. They let him. They do nothing with his tenure there. They wasted picks on Andre Bignati and stuff like that.
Yeah, it took him number one. Andre.
Number one. Talking about he can be Dirk. I mean,
yeah, Dirk got a lot of white guys drafted way higher than they should have been.
And to Dirk credit, these guys don't have the work ethic of a Dirk.
No, I think they don't have the talent.
Nor the talent or the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, they took Bargnani over Aldrich,
Yeah.
Brandon Roy, Rudy Gay,
Say that.
Larry, Millsap.
Bro, what year is that? Don't say 2005. I mean 6.
Yeah, that's
Because
2016
it's second round draft picks. You were like, they passed up on him,
Millsap.
him. Hell nah. But it is what it is.
All right. So, what do you think about the Dwayne Casey firing? That's kind of what we were speaking on originally.
I believe that's also part of the curse. Dwayne Casey.
Do you agree with the letting him go? Because it seems like all of the blame has been laid at his feet. You think that's fair or foul?
Well, we talked about this on different occasions about how far a coach can get a team. So, like you said, Mark Jackson had Steph Curry praying because the ownership didn't know what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah, let me pray your ankle.
So I mean,
pray your ankle.
I don't blame Mark for that. They're like, say, bro, I can't help it. I got some ice high and some prayer.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, Dwayne Casey, man. I mean, this is a guy. He worked his way up from assistant to a head coaching job. This guy wins 59 games. They run into the best player in the league currently, a no doubt top 3 player in NBA history on anybody's list, and they lose to him. Like from my perspective, they lost to LeBron. It's not like they lost to a lesser person. I know the perspective on Cleveland looks different coming off that first round, but this is LeBron, and this is playoff LeBron. I think they're blaming the coach for the phase of the team, and Dwayne Casey's not making $240 million combined, like Kyle Lowry and DeRozan are. Dwayne Casey is not making comments like Kyle Lowry is making that he made in 2016, saying that he wanted to watch game film with Ty Lue to see what happened. Like this is your leader saying this. Your leader DeMar DeRozan is quoted after the game saying stuff like, "Oh, we'll win too if we had LeBron." If that's who's leading your team, you can have Brad Stevens, you can have Pop, you can have Dwayne Casey, you can have Phil Jackson. You're not going far.
Okay, now I love Dwayne Casey. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? He's an architect in defense. I believe. He's underrated. They give Thibodeau more love than they did give Dwayne Casey, but then that's his or neither here or there. But,
yeah, he took Toronto from 23 wins in 2012 to 59 this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying I fuck with Dwayne Casey because his tree for the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? And now, here's the justification of the dismissal of Dwayne Casey. Now, when you think of Dwayne Casey, his biggest achievement is slowing down LeBron James in the 2011 playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got the credit he deserved for that scheme.
So NBA minds are like, okay, this is the guy. If anybody in the East we're gonna figure out a way defensively to slow him down, and we're gonna have to beat Dwayne Casey. So when that doesn't, when that reality doesn't fulfill, you know what I'm saying, promise, and you get swept, now we have to change philosophy. Let alone the players are not in the same, like I say, the same mindset of having that hunger to, hey, we can beat anybody, LeBron James or whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now keep in mind, he can coach them up, he can instill it into them, but if that's not in them,
Yeah.
if it's not in them, if inside of them, if they don't have that, there's nothing a coach can do.
But I'm gonna say some shit that, you know what I'm saying, some real shit that people ain't really peep. You know what I'm saying? They him and Kevin Love has opened up the
Who is him?
DeRozan.
Okay.
About depression and mental health, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in all honesty, they probably the too emotionally unstable in their whole draft.
I mean, they coming out saying that, you know, they having these. I mean, and you know, I actually applauded them for that because I mean that's a reality for all of us.
Yeah, but as a, you know what I'm saying, and I know the world hate when people use this terminology to describe athletes that play games, but they're all warriors, right? They supposed to be.
You know
what I'm saying? Not that they're out there harming or killing people. That was the mentality of them and how they're supposed to attack.
Yeah, I haven't seen any warrior mentality from Kyle Lowry or from DeMar DeRozan.
You know
I haven't seen any soldier mentality or anything like that. I think that's the problem. To me, in the NBA, we have to be honest about the pyramid of players. You have your top level guys, your LeBrons, old boy that play in Golden State, Curry, Harden, Russ, AD. Those are the guys. Those are the true franchise players. They're leaders. And then you have guys a step below them. And then below that level, to me, is where you find the Kyle Lowrys, the DeMar DeRozans, the Paul Georges. You know, we like to think of these guys as they're superstars and they can step up. They don't have that in them. And to me, they're in a role that they're not suited for. Their numbers look good. They can put up some great numbers in the regular season. But when it comes winning time, you see falters on him. Last year, you saw Indiana in the playoffs, and Paul George is complaining about not getting the last shot from C.J. Miles when C.J. Miles was open. And Paul wanted to force it up. You know, did he want to force it up because he wanted to win and he wanted to be the cause? Or did he just want to win, you know, as a team? It seemed like it was more of a selfish thing. He wanted to be the victor. This year and previous years, you see the Raptors go out and they limp out. You know, that game 4, Kyle Lowry, 5 points. DeMar DeRozan, 13 points and gets ejected. They don't have that in them, so that makes cash. So at this point, blaming Dwayne Casey, to me, is hustling backwards. No coach that you bring in there is going to turn DeMar DeRozan into a top-layer NBA superstar. He's not going to reach the Harden CP3 level. Not even, I mean, I got CP3 a step. He's not even going to reach the CP3 level. CP3 is probably on the second-tier players now, as opposed to earlier in his career. He's just not going to. Kyle Lowry is on the wrong side of 30, and he's owed $60+ million over the next couple of years. So I feel bad for Dwayne, but I know he's going to bounce back and land another job, and it's going to be an interesting summer in the NBA. I want to see the rest of the playoffs, but I'm also excited to see what's going to happen in summer with free agency and the drafts and what teams like, Toronto, Washington, the Blazers do, because all of those teams, if they want to compete with the true elites like Golden State and Houston and whatever team LeBron is playing for, they can't sit pat.
No, I know. Me and you like this when bad franchises start doing good things and start hiring people from winning franchises.
Yeah,
like Mr. R.C. Bruford or your favorite GM with Sam Percy.
Sam Presti, trusting Sam.
Right.
He gonna make match this summer, baby.
Okay.
Watch.
So this is me, and this is how I feel about growing teams and developing teams. A team like a Toronto has a team that has no winners on it.
Very true.
So somebody in there, besides the coach, because the coach can only talk and stomp his feet.
So many times.
You need a Richard Jefferson type on the bench to say, "Hey, guy, this is what's gonna happen. They finna blitz us. We can either crumble." Or we can, you know what I'm saying, withstand this.
Are you saying this from like a coaching aspect or just like a player?
From a general manager perspective. See,
so you don't like Masai?
My thing is, what has he done? I mean,
Come on, man, he's turned sugar to shit in Toronto and in Denver.
Hey,
I don't think Masai's a problem. Masai inherited these guys.
Yeah, because you can say, hey, I'm saying.
And the good thing is, this will be the first time he actually gets to hire a coach.
I like your metaphor. Turning sugar to shit, right? Just because you turn sugar to shit doesn't mean it's going to be a good meal. And that's the thing. He hasn't created any good meals. He has changed from shit to sugar in Denver and made them competitive and exciting to watch, but they were never in condition to win no championship. You know what I'm saying? You look at Toronto, they first round, first seed, but nobody there would say, "Hey, this their year. Watch out, Toronto."
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think that they're at that point. I think they're building towards that. I'm excited to see who he picks for the coach because, again, he inherited Kyle Lowry. He inherited DeMar DeRozan. He did extend Serge Ibaka, but I think he pretty much didn't have a choice. I'm excited about some of their young guys. Good thing about this playoffs is we got to see OG Anunoby. Wright, I think, is a very promising player for them. I think he's actually packing Kyle Lowry's bags because in the playoffs,
they said Van Vliet is packing.
Yeah, Fred Van. They got young guys. They got Jacob Podol, OG Anunoby, like you said, Fred Van Vliet.
Say all on the 25, and all in the
DeLon Wright,
all in the Terry Rozier age bracket. So
right.
So all those teams that have the overly paid point guards, get rid of them.
Yeah, I think that we may see that this summer. So, again, props to Dwayne. Hate to see you go. I think the blame's been putting on you for your players' failures, but I mean that's the NBA, and as we can see in history, they Coach of the Year award ain't about shit. I wouldn't even accept them if they tried to offer it to me.
I mean, also this is okay. Wins in the NBA can be screwed. Because every team had different agendas. Now, if
your team's agenda ain't to win, ain't to win a championship, I feel sorry for you.
Say, brother, and it's over half the leagues in that boat. They stuck in circles, like we've been saying the last 20 years, bro. The same teams have really been recycling the same formula. Charlotte has never been in contention in the last 20 years. Toronto hasn't been in contention in the last 20 years.
They've been in contention. They just never really.
They haven't been. They haven't been in contention. They haven't, bro.
Yeah. I mean, this is a superstar league. For 99% of the time, if you got the best players, you're winning. Toronto and a lot of other teams have never been in a position where they had the best player. Toronto, I don't give a damn who they are, and to be honest with you, as long as LeBron is in Cleveland or on the Eastern Conference, it's a wrap. It's just like, I mean, this would be, what happened to Dwayne Casey would be akin to like Pat Riley getting fired by Miami or the Knicks because they couldn't beat Chicago. That doesn't make sense.
Well,
you don't fire them because they can't beat the best of all time.
I got a scenario to ask you about. I already told you about how these guys are physically matched up, taller, point guard taller than the shooting guard. So I think these two franchises both need a shake-up, and you can't really change too much, but I think this would kind of help each other out. How about you trade DeMar DeRozan for Bradley Beal.
DeMar DeRozan for Bradley Beal. So then you got John Wall and DeMar. And you got Kyle Lowry and Wall in the same backcourt.
Because, I mean...
You get kind of the same thing. You're still going to have two guards at 6'3" and under.
But Beal and Wall, their relationship is toxic, and they're not growing at all. So if they're not growing, what's the point of just paying them both and just?
Yeah, I mean, I think
at least
Toronto, the Blazers, and the Wizards are kind of in the same boat. They both have what they perceive to be two superstars. In the case of the Blazers, they may be right. Washington may be right. I don't think the two guys in Toronto are both superstars.
No, and
I don't think Larry's at that level. But yeah, they definitely need a shake-up. I don't know if that shake-up involves them trading with each other, but I definitely think that we see some movement from all those teams.
And this is the only reason I said this is because of what their game is both lacking. Okay, Bradley Beal game is lacking length and athleticism, and DeMar DeRozan game is lacking 3-point shooting and ball movement. So if you look at Toronto this playoff series, if they would have had Bradley Beal, they probably would have got them 2 games. I know they would have got at least 2 games.
You trust them like that?
I
think that trade works out. To be honest with you, that trade works out for Toronto. Works out for Washington.
Okay, game 2, right? Where Valentunas missed the easy layup, right?
DeMar DeRozan missed a tip in too.
They brought in an injured Van Vliet with the shoulder thing, because
to shoot the game on the shot.
Because why? Because DeRozan's weakness is his 3-point.
Well, you know what? I don't know if it was that. I think that was kind of like the game plan, knowing that Cleveland would attack DeRozan when he had the ball, because Van Vliet got a shot wide open because of a trap on somewhere else on the court.
And also, in moments like that, what do? You put your best shooters in.
C.J. Miles was in. That's
and one of your best shooters got a bum shoulder. And the thing about C.J. Miles, your boy Paul kind of put him on the bus last year, so him taking that shot is always gonna be a question. Like, why is C.J. shooting?
Yeah, that was Paul. That was Paul being selfish. C.J. was wide open and just rattled out.
I mean, exactly, bro.
But yeah, so I mean, like we were saying, kind of look forward to the summer in the NBA. In the shakeups that happen. So we got the conference final now. You still sticking with your choices? Again, we got the Rockets and the Warriors in the West, and we got the Celtics and the Cavs in the East. I'm going with Warriors in a sweep.
You remember
I'm going with 2 sweeps in the conference finals.
You remember I got omelet on my face. I said New Orleans and Toronto. So
yeah.
I'm over here eating Denny's now, sunny side
Humble
up.
pie for one. I mean, what are you talking about? I picked Philadelphia to pretty much sweep the Celtics, and I was damn wrong.
Bro.
So as we sit here, we got the Celtics and the Cavs in the East. We got the Warriors and the Rockets in the West. I've got 2 sweeps.
I see.
And I got I got Warriors and Cavs part 4.
I see the same thing because unless LeBron get hurt like a twisted ankle, he's not able to get into.
True.
Now, people, when I say this name, don't think of the other guy. But when he turned into Bruce Jenner,
what do you mean?
When he Hulk up, when LeBron turned, see that's. With DeRozan,
he's been hulking up the whole playoffs.
Exactly.
Hulk mode has been activated.
He's not fully green yet. He's green. He's getting green. He's getting angry. He's knocking stuff over. But he's not fully.
The shirt is ripped.
When the finals come, we gonna get that 42, 10, and 12.
Yeah, I think so. That's when he's full Hulk. He
that's full Hulk.
He done turned the jeans into the dun-da-duns and yeah. That boy, shout out to Bruce Banner. He invented jorts.
But
I'm gonna save a bitch in these motherfuckers.
In the Tom Sawyers. Oh man, but yeah.
I hear Holland. Watch when I come through.
but when the final come, he gonna turn into full Hulk. Right now, he gonna. Let me see. What's a good Marvel since Black Panther and Avengers are out? Who's the good one for Brian Reed right now? Right now, he's probably in his.
Killmonger. in Bach?
He's probably right now. He's probably he's Tony Stark in it. You know what I'm saying? He talking shit. Pow 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 pow.
Yeah,
pow, pow, bust.
got all the tricks out.
Yeah.
Man, that when he broke out that fadeaway, bro. To me, that might have got Dwayne Casey fired right there. This man is out here playing with y'all. Like, he had the drives. He was literally stopping and intentionally shooting fadeaways. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We spoke on, like, we think it's going to be a sweep in the East. With the Rockets having the best record in the league and having Chris Paul and James Harden going against the Warriors, why is it that we have no faith in them actually winning?
Because we know them shit. Let's be honest. If you look at their career, we know them as chokers.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know. That's pretty much exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
I don't know if they're ready for this moment.
Okay.
James Harden has looked. He's had some shaky looking games in his playoffs. Man, he had that bad game in the first round where he was like 2 or 5 for 20, but his team still won by 20 because they were just that much better than the Wolves. And then even this closeout game that they had last round, Chris Paul carried them.
Say, bro,
Paul was looking loud. Harden was looking loud. You know, sometimes he had that real coked out look. We saw it against the Spurs last year.
You know what that is. But okay, you know what I'm saying? I think he gonna you know what I'm saying, being from the D, you gonna kinda probably appreciate this when I say this. This young man, both Chris Paul and James Harden, when it comes to them in pressure situation, they can get the girl to come to the bedroom, but they can't do nothing else.
So they just sitting on the bed. The finals is in a room with them. They both just sitting at the bed. You like music?
Hey, bro. I mean, and let's look at their careers.
What you wanna watch?
Let's look at what I mean. Like, James has been to the pinnacle and nutted up in the pinnacle.
Yeah, he's always been shaky when the most tension-filled moments.
Hey, I don't know who his father is, but his father was a fan of Nick Anderson.
Yeah, he got some Anderson in him. Like, I remember even a series where the Rockets came back against the Clippers, doing that whole comeback that Houston had in that Game 5. He was on the bench and was looking spaced out. And it's the same look that I saw 2 years ago when they exited the playoffs, and it's the same look I saw when they got blown out by San Antonio, who was missing like 2 players last year, and when he flamed out in the playoffs. So it's him that I really don't trust. CP3, you know
that look is
he'll play great, and then he'll have that one crucial turnover with 3 seconds left.
He'll play great, then hurt.
Yeah, he's had some freaking. He got, what is that one? He broke his hand like reaching inside of a jersey.
Bro,
it's that head. The damn head is too big. The rest of his body is just. It's compensating it. The bones are unstable.
Yeah, Chris Paul, he has that high side.
High side?
Yeah, since the principal act. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he got that Eddie Haskell shit down.
Yeah, like. When he with the coaches and shit, talking shit, like, yeah, Miss Johnson fine in the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Shh, y'all be quiet so Miss Johnson can talk.
Yeah.
But then nigga, he got the answers to the quiz and selling them.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Kenyon Warren kind of spoke to that. He said that, a lot of guys in the locker rooms see him as a little bit disingenuous, and he has like his own agenda.
This is my thing about Chris is when it's time to put your stamp in the game, you have to attack the basket. You have to attack the basket. All great players attack the basket. Now, Chris Paul, when it's time for him to get to that level, even James, they like to go backwards, meaning fade away, shoot jumpers. When it's time for this game to really, you know what I'm saying, solidify who you are as a professional, to be a champion, you have to attack the basket. You have to get that foul. You have to go to the line. And a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, when that moment happens, they not ready for it. Like last year, when Houston were playing San Antonio, you saw it when Ginobili cuffed that young man's shot.
Oh,
You don't want this. Why are you shooting this way back here if I can cuff your shit?
Yeah.
You supposed to be going. You supposed to be attacking a Paul Gasol.
Well, see, this is where I felt like this is where he struggled. This is where Harden as a leader struggled. He didn't have that team ready. They didn't seem to be right mentally at all. And when it came crunch time and they needed him the most, he faltered. So, I mean, I know that's why I'm looking at them. I mean, I hope that I'm wrong and that it's a good series, but man, I see Golden State getting it rolling and blowing past them, and we get part 4, the Cavs and the Warriors. I think we both can agree on that.
Okay. Side note, I see Gerald Green get into it with Nick Young.
Battle of the bench players. What are they gonna get into it about?
You know what I'm saying?
My haircut is better than yours. Like, what could they? Females issues or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just seen that because
If Nick Young has to be a factor, Houston's got a shot.
It's some. I'm gonna be 100 on it. It's some. Oh, any given night, it's some characters on both teams, from Nene to Chris.
Nene see the court, it's gonna be a problem.
Nene, Chris, Gerald.
You think there's a chance for like some dust ups?
PJ, okay, even.
Yo, PJ is another reason why I think the Warriors are getting him out of there. Who is he guarding? Draymond. So I don't even think he can guard Draymond. He's a 6'4" power forward. That's the Achilles heel.
Oh, we talking 6, 7.
That's gonna be the Achilles heel for the Rockets.
Then okay. I keep hearing about Joe Johnson. I don't see Joe getting no PT.
Nah, man, Joe. Again, if Joe Johnson is the deciding factor or Gerald Green, yeah, it's gonna go exactly how we thought with the blowout. So, looks like we'll be looking forward to Warriors and the Cavs part 4.
I don't want to see it though.
I do. I think that's the best two teams and that's the best outcome.
This is what's gonna happen. It's the best team versus the best player. And I hate it because how much the odds are stacked up against LeBron.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna hate that part because even though we know the scales will be tilted way in the Warriors' favor, the Watch the Throne Jordan defenders.
Oh my God.
These niggas, that's the real Avengers is Jordan stands.
That's why you asked me about Michael Jordan last episode. I called him the Billy Goat.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him because his fans, like, my thing is this. I feel like Michael Jordan is the best ever, but I also feel like we can't sit and pretend like evolution doesn't exist. We can't pretend like there's no way possible anybody could ever come close to him. And they do this thing where, like, anytime somebody is great, we try to tear them down in order to defend his crown, and it's not necessary. His record, his stats, his numbers, what he did stands alone. And I can appreciate him, and I can appreciate somebody like LeBron, who I believe is the closest to and is right there on Jordan's shoulder.
Bro, I'm taking it a step further. Okay, Michael Jordan, not the best player ever. He's the most popular player ever. And that is undebatable. Now,
Popularity is definitely not debatable.
Now, when I think of the best player ever, I think of the whole totality of what you can do to the game. And for me, the Big O has always been the greatest. He's never Oscar Robertson.
You think he's the greatest player ever?
I mean,
what are we basing this? What are you basing it on?
I mean,
this is interesting to me. I've never heard.
Not just winning because
he won one championship.
How the hell could he compete against a Boston Celtics team from the 1950s?
Well, yeah. See, this is where I run into when people criticize somebody like a Will Chamberlain, they'll say that Russell beat him all this many times. Like, yeah, Russell had 7 Hall of Famers on it as teammates.
But that's why I say that's why a person like Oscar Robertson, Mr. Triple Double, you know what I'm saying? he was leading that team. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got a great player, he was like, my God, you got a great player and y'all won. You know
I mean he's one of the greatest all time. I don't, me personally, again.
And like I said, and I wasn't old enough to watch this young man.
Yeah,
play.
you
So
did.
I missed that.
Your mom wasn't old enough to watch this motherfucker play.
Watching it from the
Yeah.
Get old. Yeah,
You gotta wait till the season over to read a sports almanac to know what he did. But nah, Big O is a legend. He's a legend. We all know that the numbers stand by themselves. Not only just on the court, but like even off of the court. His biography is excellent. If you ever get a chance to read it.
And nobody give him the credit for taking. Really, he was the start of taking down Donald Sterling. He was the start. He the one with the first lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, he was a groundbreaker as far as like NBA free agency and a lot of the things the players that nowadays benefit from. One thing I would like to see the NBA do is to kind of recognize some stars of the past like a little bit more. Like there should be an award, you know, in Oscar Robinson's name. There should actually be an award with Michael Jordan's. Maybe I feel like they should start going towards what we see in like the NFL, where you have like the offensive player of the year and then the MVP as well, or maybe a playoffs MVP is the Michael Jordan Award, since he's got 6 of those.
I mean, okay, MVP and offensive player.
They don't have to be the same.
I hate that because they make defensive players seem like they're.
Well, there's already a defensive player of the year award.
Exactly, but offensive player award get more a star, more glow, more shine than a defensive player. Cause you say, I
don't think so. I mean,
you do. This is how I'm gonna break it down to you. Okay, you can take a Charles Barkley getting the offensive player of the year. Like, man, Charles put up 30-something points. Then you put a Dennis Rodman getting a defensive player, like role player. You know what I'm saying? That's how shit get. You know what I'm saying? Especially because offensive is a glamorized thing. The dirty work is always hard. So like you said, Dwight Howard is a Hall of Fame because his defensive ability and what he does in the game. He was a way better defender than Shaq ever was.
Right.
But Shaq gonna get that because he was more dominant.
Yeah. Shaq was an overall better player than Dwight Howard. Like, I don't think that's something that we. Are you?
Fuck Shaq.
Are you really saying that Dwight Howard was a better player?
No.
Okay, I'm just saying. Dwight Howard was definitely a better defender than Shaq. The history books would say as much, but Shaq is the far dominant player.
Yes, far dominant. I mean,
he's the far more dominant player.
Okay, here's the thing that I like about Shaq, and I don't like about Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how we got to the Shaq combo.
I don't know how we got to Shaq neither. I guess because we never did none of this.
Okay.
But anyway, a person like Shaq, the persona, the imagery of this big, lovable giant.
Goofy
right?
ass nigga. Yeah.
But it's evidence of holiness that's
all through him.
I mean,
he is hated, man. Anytime he's been on any team and somebody was considered as good or better, he's found a way to hate on him, whether that be on the court or even on TV. Constantly, I listen to this dude hate on. He can't stand that Chuck is getting the love that he gets. He was hating on Jalen Rose at one point.
Hey, bro.
And now he hating on Chuck, and the thing, I hate fucking listening to him analyze, because he says the same thing. They asked him the other day, what should Joel work on this summer? Get the ball in the post and dunk it. You gotta be thinking, I'm a big man. 6 points, 3 rounds every quarter. And in the game, it's 24-12. 7 points, 3 rebounds. You gotta keep that in your mind. And it actually speaks to him as a player, like. He was a selfish dude. He hated on Penny. He hated on Mark Jackson and in college, and Stanley Roberts. And he was low-key hating on Kobe. And then they had the interview, and he just started exposing himself for all the lies he's told throughout his career.
Correct. But it's also deeper than that, too, man, because you look at it, Shaq has always had one of the top 3 two guards in the league. Always.
Oh yeah, he's always been paired with a great all timer at guard.
Okay, so when so let's look at when he came in the league. 91, 92.
Yeah, Scott Skiles.
He got Penny in 93.
Mm-hmm.
So from 93, 94, 94, 95, 96 to 97, 98.
He goes to the Lakers.
Right. So from 96, from 92 to 96, you can arguably say he had the second best two guard in the NBA with Penny Hardaway.
I mean, right? Penny's a point.
He
played point.
He's more of a two.
He played point. Nick Anderson was a two.
But he started. Scott was the point, or Donald Royal, or DA, because Penny played off. You know what I'm saying? As of now.
About that.
Now, what was Penny most effective at is running the point. No. But in totality,
but no, for Shaq, he always has been paired with a great guard.
So if you start a team, if back then, you would like to have Penny as your two. Who was at that time period? Who was matching him? Who was 6'7", 6'8", ball handling ability dunking? Nobody.
Well, I mean, nobody. That's what made him so effective at point. You move to the two guard, you could deal with like a taller guy.
Even at the two guard, you think at the two guard at the time, there wasn't nobody that could stop him. Spree
I mean, nobody was stopping him when he was healthy for the 2 or 3 years where he was actually fully healthy. Even Jordan and Pippen, weren't really stopping him one-on-one. Exactly. They might have beat the Magic, but Penny was giving their ass buckets. Even if you look back before that, the series that the Magic had against Indiana, and Penny went nuts. Shaq was fouling out, missing free throws and stuff like that.
He said Rick Smith used to bust his ass. Exactly.
Yeah, but he was busting his ass mentally.
Exactly.
Shaq wasn't ready. Then he left before any more blame could be placed upon him.
Cause that whole I left because they wasn't going to pay me. That's bullshit, bro.
Oh, big fish in a small pond.
Like he said it. What really drove the hammer was Little Penny, Chris Rock, and Anthony Hardaway doing Little Penny, which took Anthony Hardaway stardom to a bigger level than Shaq.
He's cool with Anthony Hardaway until Anthony Hardaway became his peer. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe was his little brother until Kobe was looked at as a star, near the same level.
I'm gonna be honest. After Blue Chip, Penny surpassed him
immediately.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean Blue Chip? Blue Chips was the summer before the draft. Like that's when they filmed it.
Yeah, that's when they filmed it. When the movie dropped and the stardom became like, oh my God, he's the next guy.
Yeah.
Because big men have their mama. Oh, you dominant big, but when a wing gets that here's this crown. It's like being the top rapper in the music.
Well, yeah, I think Shaq was lucky enough to come in an era where the center was still looked at as the primary dominant guy because he came in an era with David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Zoe, Dream. So he was still in there. Penny was definitely like a groundbreaker. That flash that he had for those 2-3 years was amazing to the point where we talk about it now and we don't even realize when you look back on it. He was only healthy for like 2-3 years. It was a very quick period before the injury set in and Shaq gets traded, and like the history of his name, is no longer a factor within the league.
Okay, so we went from Penny. Now we have to go to Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah, then he winds up with Kobe, and once Kobe develops is when they actually win. Because when Shaq was the better player, clearly they was losing to Utah 4-1.
Yeah, hold up. I believe I gotta give this young man his due because he is a legend and a great in his own right. He played with Mr. Richmond, Mitch.
Who? Shaq?
Yeah.
That was towards the end. No, that wasn't good, Mitch.
I'm just putting it. Hey, the names go on now.
He's
a legend. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. He's always played with a great a Gary Payton.
Yeah, but I mean, he played with Gary at the end.
He
I don't
played
know. Are we
with-
counting that Gary
say,
towards?
Like a Gary and Miami Gary's. Two Gary. Jason Williams, another great.
Oh man.
Now,
Your rankings in sports is like Jason Williams is a great. Heath Miller is a great.
man,
These are good players.
bro,
Great.
Yeah, great. Because you got to think about the Jason Williams impact of the game.
What impact did he have?
He's never been a Pistol Pete or nobody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for a good 5-10 years, you'd say Jason Williams what top 10 point guard?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
From 98
Towards the-
from 98 from 98 to 2008. So round two.
Nah, I'm sorry, no.
Okay, cause who you got?
Nah, I mean, as a top 10 point guard, I don't.
It wasn't that many, baby. Cause this is a lot of things. It was a lot of
Yeah, I don't see Jason Williams in that light.
It was a. I know he's better than Bibby.
No, he wasn't better than Bibby. Actually,
Yes.
Sacramento got better once they traded him.
He better than Bibby, bro.
At what? What is he better at Bibby than? He's flashy, but he wasn't winning games, man.
Only thing. This is the only thing that was lacking in Sacramento with Jason Williams. They have a rugged defender.
What do you mean?
I mean, Doug Christie coming out here with his wife was their best defender. And
Wait a minute.
And even then,
Doug Christie was a great defender.
yeah, and he was older
And
then. He was older, Doug Christie. This wasn't Toronto '94 Doug Christie. This is 2003. He's 32, trying to chase the 22-year-old Kobe. Come on, bro.
I don't know, man. Jason Williams played 3 years in Sacramento.
bro,
he never averaged more than 13 points. He never averaged more than 7 assists.
But also he was spending time with Bobby Jackson. Lottie Diva is an average.
that shit changed when Mike Bibby got there.
No. You look at his numbers. You also look at his numbers, Jason's numbers. But you look at Chris' assist number. You look at Vladi's assist number. You look at Vladi Diva assist number. You look at Chris Rubber's assist numbers. You look at Bobby Jackson's assist numbers. Their team,
Bobby Jackson went passing that bitch when he got it.
you know what I'm saying? Their team was that what made them exciting because all the passing
The
and
ball
the movement.
moving,
So
the Princeton offense and all of that type of stuff.
So it wasn't like it wasn't a Chris Paul pound, or Rondo pound. It's a and that what made you know what I'm saying. That what made Dub, my boy, Mr. Dub, one of the great in his era. And he was a 2000 era. He's not an all-time great. He's a 2000 era great.
Who?
Jason Dub.
Great.
Yeah. So here's my guards for the 2000s. You ready for this? My guards for the 2000s. Okay. The all-time greatest from 2000 to 2002.
Now you calling this man all time? I want to know which season he was great in.
Brother, we just talking numbers versus systems. That's totally different. You know what I'm saying?
System. Period. When was Jason Williams great?
For a whole 10 years, he was great, bro.
10 years, he was great.
Yeah. He wasn't.
He retired before he even got to 10 years.
9 years, wasn't it?
He played for 9 years. He retired, and mind you, the last 2 or 3 years of those careers, he got an 8. He was in Miami in 2007. He was in Miami from 2005 through 2008.
They won. He was the starting point guard with Wade and motherfucking Shaq. He was the starting point guard. So that's why players like a Kevin Garnett and Shaq, they tell you how great Jason. Now, was Jason a coach killer? Probably, because his style of basketball wasn't traditional style of basketball. Now, like you said,
it wasn't winning basketball.
I mean, we
I can't believe we haven't. I never heard nobody call Jason Williams great.
Right? Yeah, man. I mean, a legend and great.
Keep in mind, legend is more of a popularity thing. Like,
exactly, right?
A lot of guys are legendary for whatever the case is, for their style, clothes, flashiness. I put him in great for his flashiness, and we remember his name, but we confusing him with being a good player.
Hold on. Let me go and set this for you. You know what I'm saying? Let me set this. Let me set this totem pole for you. You have the king or all-time great or whatever. You have your icons. You have your legends. You have some greats. Then you have some. He was good for his eras. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Jason Witten was a great. He wasn't iconic. He wasn't a legend. His style of basketball from 98 to about 2006, he was probably one of the most entertaining guards that was in the league.
Yeah,
you can't deny
entertaining,
that.
Cool.
Now,
let's speak to this greatness.
His style of play. You know what I'm saying? Now he's not iconic, and he's not a king. He's just a.
Listening you talk about Jason Williams being great.
Okay. Now,
all I can think of is.
Now,
I'm sorry.
That's cool. But let me go and give you my rundown from
okay, let me hear this rundown.
2000. All-time number one is Mr. Jason Kidd.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Okay, number two. Okay,
we're talking about the 90s.
No, 2000.
2000.
You know
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Number two.
From 99 to 2009. Right. So
okay.
That's the era. Okay. Now, these are just number one is Kidd. I'm gonna put that number one is Kidd. So I have Steve on that list. Now, Steve is nowhere as great as Jason Kidd. Steve Nash, that is. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the great, another great.
So, Steve Nash and Jason Kidd so far. And we're going to find our way to Jason Williams soon, I'm sure, right?
Probably. To be honest, if you want to be honest about it, though.
Is Jason Williams better than Andre Miller? Hell no.
Hell yeah. Because Andre run your team great, bro, but Andre ain't run shit.
Man, bro.
Andre ain't run shit.
Jason Williams won something when he got to the point of they need 7 points from him.
Okay.
Again, you said
this is where you have.
You don't have to defend this Jason Williams greatness comment, bro.
Okay, I would say I don't know if it's coincidence or white privilege or whatever, but this young man has an NBA career that has sparked a lot of entertaining and helped boost some franchise now. Now, give Chris Webber all his due for bringing Sacramento to his focal, right?
Man.
Right?
He about to do it.
Right. But when Chris even said this himself. But when Jason got there,
they got there at the same time.
You're right. When they got there, their entertainment value, all that.
I mean, I've seen Chris Webber speak several times about he didn't know who Jason Williams was. His brother actually told him about him. Was like, yeah, guy's good.
He said He said all it took was their first day in practice, and that boy had him hooked on what he could be.
Right.
So when Vlade and Chris got there, and with Peja, their entertainment level, they went from.
But we can't deny that.
Right.
That team got better when his ass got gone.
No, they did not. Though, if you really think about it, when after they got to the Western Conference Final, like 1 year after that, and that was the end of it. That was the end of Sacramento. Chris got hurt. Vlade was got retired. They ended up trading Peja to New Orleans, the Pacers. So that went fast. Now we like to think of them of the Kings of having a longer run, but in reality they didn't really have a long run. they really had like a 3-year window, and with the tipping point was like 2002 or 2003 when they played the Lakers in their finals, which they should have won that year. But they were gonna get smashed by the Kings or whatever or whoever.
All right, so again.
Okay, so in that time period, I said Kidd, yes, Nash, yes. I want to give Baron Davis some love for his time period. He's not a icon legend, but he's in the great category. Steve Francis from his little 3 to 4 year window. I give him his title of his great. You know what I'm saying? So when I say great, you think of a BD's and the Steve Francis. They both only made the All-Star team twice. You know what I'm saying? They both made the playoff a couple of times.
Yeah. So,
but they're not legends.
Okay, so we need some more names on this list. That you
and then what I'm
players.
saying, if you really think about it, 2005 draft come, there really wasn't too many great players in the league still.
Yeah, but I still need to see.
So
I need to see. I need to see what you're saying about this. That he was a great point guard, a top 10
in the 2000s.
In the 2000s, I need to see how he's a top 10 point guard.
Okay, who's the list of point guards? So far, we only named 6.
You named 6, so I'm sure he's coming up here soon, right?
I don't know nobody else after Francis and Baron Davis. Who you got? Maybe Marbury? After Marbury, that's it, right?
No, I mean, if you ask me as far as the point guards in the 2000s, I got Jason Kidd, number 1.
Correct.
But along with Jason Kidd, I've also got in that time frame, I've got Steve Nash. I've also got Chris Paul.
That's Paul 05.
What are you talking about? You said between 99 and 2009. Yeah, so I'm taking Paul's 4 years or whatever the case.
So you taking Paul rookie year? Rookie year because you got
Yeah, I'm taking that. Yeah, all day long.
So,
I would. Paul's rookie year is better than any year Jason Williams ever had.
And what did Paul's rookie year? Is 2005, 2006, right?
Paul's rookie year is better than any year that Jason
2005,
Williams
2006,
ever had.
right? Jason won the championship that year.
He wasn't a great point guard that year. He was a 8 point.
He got farther than Chris
Wait a
ever got.
Wait a minute. We're talking about team success versus individual success. Chris Paul rookie year, he is 16-8. That is a better year than Jason Williams ever had. Clearly.
And you also have to look at the totality of the team.
Totality, man, no.
If you look at
I'm saying his rookie year, his 1 year.
Yeah.
I will take that over any year of Jason Williams' career.
I would.
And there is no way you can tell me that you would.
I wouldn't, because Jason Williams has been to motherfucking finals.
He went to the finals as like the 6th option on the team.
As the starting
so you're gonna disregard what he actually did on the court and just focus on what his team got to the finals. Therefore, he's
okay. And see,
if that's the case, I'm gonna start saying stuff like Nick Young is one of the best 2 guards in the NBA. His teams might get to the finals,
bro. And this is why we love sports, because the first thing we talk about is the results of what happened. First thing we talk about who got the ring. That's the first thing we name. Second thing we name is the stats. Third thing we name are the impact. You know what I'm saying? That's how we.
Yeah, bro. You still haven't gotten me to Jason Williams being great.
Shit, bro, he was.
You skipped. So let me ask you this: Jason Williams was better from '99 to 2009. He was better than Chauncey Billups. No, bro, no.
With the 2003 Detroit Pistons beat the 2005.
No,
Miami.
man, that's not what we asking you, bro. You are changing the question. The question was, is Jason Williams in the time frame that you provided better than Chauncey Billups?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Well,
Don't
You
stop,
talk- you
bro.
talk-
You talking about some hold up.
We talking Chauncey Billups in Minnesota. Then he goes to.
Bro, we talking Chauncey
Cause
Billups.
we said 2000, right?
Bro.
So we got to talk about 90s.
Any.
Okay, so Chauncey.
Any. We're talking about within that time frame. Please tell me you got. Again, I'm gonna ask you again.
I have Chauncey over. I have Chauncey at probably the fourth, probably best point guard in the 2000s. Probably the fourth.
Thank you. So, do you have him over Marbury in that time frame?
Who? Will?
Huh?
Come on, Jay Will over Marbury?
Yeah, you got him over Marbury?
Marbury was washed after 2000, bro.
He's a what?
He washed after 2001.
After 2001?
Say, his
Bro,
numbers...
you can't just say things, bro. After 2001?
His numbers are great, but the team success...
Oh, my God. He went to the playoffs after that with Phoenix after 2001.
And what happened?
No, you said his team success.
After that, every franchise he went through.
So now we're changing. So you're asking the question about individual players, but then when it comes time to answer the question about said individual player, you're switching it to what does the team do?
No. Because this is my argument.
That Mayweather money looking funny in the light, man.
Bro, this gonna be my
this argument is not holding up,
bro. This gonna be my argument right here because every team that Marbury went to. They demise every team that.
Oh man.
Yeah, every team that Will went to, they rose.
Bro, his rookie year it happened to coincide with the Kings getting Chris Webber.
Bro,
that's more of a coincidence than anything.
So how do you get?
Oh man, you have not proven your point. So hold on a sec. So you still haven't gone through your list. I'm just gonna run through some names real quick.
Okay.
Was he better than Jason Kidd in that time frame?
Hell no. Nah.
Was he better than Steve Nash? Hold on, hold on a second.
No. I gotta give Kidd more love because, to be honest, I believe Kidd is probably the most underrated guard of all time.
Jason Kidd has the most assists by over 1,000 from anybody during that time period. So hold on a sec.
He's the most underrated point guard of all time.
He may be. So is he better than Jason Kidd in that time frame?
Nah.
Is he better than Steve Nash in that time frame?
Hell no.
Baron Davis. Hell no, bro. What are you doing?
I'm
okay. Hold on a second. Oh no, man. Don't bring in no team success.
No. That's what I have to break up because you say
you don't. You don't have to. You actually don't have to bring up the team success thing. We're talking about an individual player. You said as an individual, he's a top 10 point guard from 99 to 2009. You said this man was a top 10 point guard. So we are not talking about team.
And that's what I was saying. I have to break down. I have to substitute his skill set and what he.
What is his skill set?
Jason.
What's his best attribute?
Jason's best.
Come on, man. You got to sit and think on it.
No, because
he's a point guard. What's his best asset?
I mean, as a point guard, what's the point guard? Dribbling is always supposed to be the point guard.
So his gotcha.
I mean,
if we were talking about N1, okay. So let me ask you this.
No. Not talking about N. Now that's bullshit. There we go. That's
that
bullshit.
Boy is Randall Cunningham right now.
That's bullshit because we talk about the game of
Mike
basketball.
Vick right now. He is scrambling
you just
in the
brought
pocket.
Up Mike Vick, so the number one driver is the quarterback.
No. Hold on,
right?
man. I'm not
it's
bringing up Mike Vick. No.
Right. We talk about a positional. You want your
scrambling.
What kind of point guard can't dribble?
Okay, so you're saying
right.
Remember, no. What are you talking about? So
you just asked what is his best attribute.
You said, so dribbling is his best attribute.
If your point guard can't
great
hold
for N1.
If your point guard can't hold the rock, what is
That's
he?
great for N1.
If your point guard can't hold the rock, where is he, bro?
He's nowhere. So
now,
how does he wind up as a top 10 player?
Time out.
What do you mean time out?
Because you finna stop me with some damn numbers.
No, I'm not finna stop you. I'm just asking names. I haven't said any numbers yet.
Before you throw
no.
Before you give me the what? Okay,
you skip Bayless right now.
No. What was fuck Skip?
You skip Bayless right now.
I put that on my mama. Oh, clear shit. But
I'm asking you names, bro. You pausing and switching.
Now, what had always been the knock on Jason Williams' game? Too many turnovers, right?
Bro, he's not even important enough to have a knock.
Turnover rate.
He's not important enough to have a knock. Yeah, he turned. Okay, so if you want to give him turnovers,
that was always.
If that's what you want to give him,
right?
Listen, if that's what you want to get at him, cool. I want to continue asking you names, and you tell me if he was better than them again. And this is a time period that you provided.
Okay.
Was he better than Gary Payton from '99 to 2009?
We're gonna be honest.
I'm asking you for your opinion. I say hell no.
Okay, to be honest,
and you gonna say don't say team success.
Look. To be honest, after 2000, Gary Payton's reputation was bigger than his game. And that's honest.
So you're saying okay. So let's take a look.
If we being honest, because sometimes sometimes in the sports world,
his name was so. Let's just take a look at his first 4 seasons in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 22-9 season, a 24-9 season, a 23-8 season, a 22-9 season. That's 99 through 2002.
Who it is?
That's Gary Payton.
Right.
So
and then also let's think about.
So
okay.
at what point does Jason Williams better than him?
No.
If we're being honest.
No, if we're being honest. Now that Gary Payton has went through in that transition, what, 5 teams or 4 teams in the transition?
He didn't get traded until 2003.
He went from
Seattle to Milwaukee
to Atlanta.
No,
exactly. He was supposed to.
Gary Payton didn't go to Atlanta.
He was supposed to go. Remember they traded.
I don't want to get sidetracked, so I want to ask you. So you're still sticking with Jason Williams had a better time frame than Gary Payton?
Yeah, I'm not.
Allen Iverson, because I'm just gonna go ahead and just.
I didn't see Iverson's not a point guard.
Oh my God. Okay.
Honestly, is he a point
guard? He's a guard. You said he's okay. Cool. So no,
I said Iverson.
So Jason Terry.
No.
So. Okay.
Honestly, Chris, you can't say if you go back to 2004 and say, "Hey, I traded you, motherfucking Jason Terry for Jason Williams." Like,
I'll keep Jason Terry.
I'm not going to keep Jet because Jet.
I'm keeping Jason Terry.
You got to understand where Jet came from.
What do you mean where he came from?
His basketball, his basketball development.
Man,
it took him a while to. Dirk had to work with Jason.
Culpepper, he is scrambling, bro. Okay, Sam Cassell. Was he better than Sam Cassell in that period?
That was an older Sam, Milwaukee Sam, and
again, this is from '99 to 2009. This is what you said. Keep in mind Milwaukee's playoff success in the early 2000s.
And Minnesota. Don't forget about that.
So again, is Jason Williams better than Sam Cassell in the time frame that you provided? That's a no. Let's go ahead and move on from that. Tony Parker.
Fuck Tony.
Is Jason Williams a better point guard from 99 to 2009 than Tony Parker was? You can't bring that team shit in because Tony blows out there. So come on. Wow, Tony got a Finals MVP in that time frame. Come on.
Bro.
That's a no.
Okay.
Why you haven't said no to anybody except for Jason Kidd and Steve Nash?
You said Final MVP.
This is funny.
That's
man. No. But
series, bro.
You talking about Jason Williams averaged 7 points in the finals and you wanted to give him credit for it. Is he better than Deron Williams in that time frame?
Deron, what? Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck Deron.
Again, that's another lie. Steve Francis.
Nah, I see.
Steve Francis. No, I'm asking these questions, bro.
I already told you Stevie. I tell you B. Deasy.
Okay, got you. So he wasn't better than Steve Francis. We already said Chris Paul. We know that he was not better than Chris Paul during the time frame.
And like I say, at the end of Chris Paul come to 05, bro. The man's career ended in 08.
This man, you gave me the time frame. Did you or did you not say between 1990? You said 99 and 2009 he was a top 10 point guard.
He got drafted in 98.
So I'm going to go Chris Paul. What did he do up to 2009? He averaged 19.4, 10 assists and 5 rebounds. And you gonna sit there and tell me Jason Williams at any point was better than that?
But bro,
we can.
Okay, I can break down your shit in different forms.
No, you
okay?
can't.
Yes,
You get to break down anything.
Yeah.
You keep scrambling.
No. Because for one, we can go through who was running what system, who had what personnel.
Man.
We can go if we
You
really
want
wanted
this advanced stuff.
If,
You said this dude was better, man. You said this guy was. You told me this guy was better.
Bruh, if you put Chris Paul with motherfucking Chris Webber, you think Chris Paul numbers gonna be the same or they gonna be different?
Probably better.
They gonna be.
He
different.
was 16 and 8 his rookie year. They're gonna be better.
2000.
It's gonna be better.
Fuck that. Let's be honest. 2008, Chris Webber was hurt, so he wouldn't make the goddamn numbers.
Well, he wasn't a rookie in 2008, but you told me, you just said if we take Chris Paul his rookie year and put him in on the 1999 Kings team.
Nah, I did not say that goddamn.
You said if you
shit,
put him on.
nah.
You said if you put him in Jason Williams with Chris Webber, if you dropped the number Chris Webber, so you want to give him Chris Webber when he's old and about to retire?
Fucking right.
Oh my God.
You got to deal with the circumstances at hand, like
White privilege.
Fucking right.
This man, white privilege.
fucking right.
Yeah, so I think we've thoroughly.
Is it fair? Okay,
We've thoroughly proven that this guy is not better.
You look at Memphis, all right? When he was with Memphis.
Look at him.
Okay, right. You have Sturmeyer Shrimp and motherfucking Shane Battier.
Yeah, you got
Who
Paul
the fuck
Gasol
gonna
too.
give you?
You got Paul Gasol too. Memphis was his best year.
And what happened?
Memphis was his best years.
No. What happened? They went from not making the playoff to making the playoff.
Oh, it was Jason Williams they got in there?
Say, you can't.
Got him swept 3 times.
But hey, we talking the same shit about motherfucking getting swept.
No,
we talking about them getting swept. We bring out the brew when we miss the clean around here. We bring out the brew.
Well, I tell you, this has been a very entertaining night listening to this. Again, the views expressed by Guy belong to him and him only. I'm looking at the ticket. We're 2 hours in. Sorry that we left you guys. We left you starving for a couple of extra days. We definitely thank you for listening. This was episode 3 of the Other Side of the Sports, Other Side of the Game Sports Podcast. I'm Hees. This is Guy. You guys take care.
Mixed messages in my songs. Am I wrong to feel this way? Revolutionary. Although I'm free, I got me a lover, but I still wanna cheat. Wanna be saved, but it's fuck the police. Don't wanna be here, but I'm too scared to leave. I got a whole lot of mixed messages in my song.